What do you think about degrees? What do you think about money? How do they relate to each other? How do you think investing, for example, and becoming rich relates to degrees that we have and the education that we have and the formal education? So this is one of the questions that has been going on in my mind for a while now. And last night I couldn't sleep and I was thinking, actually degrees don't equate to money at all. Degrees don't equate to success. I know it's said a lot, but I can prove it in my life. Like, my life is a reflection that somehow degrees don't equate. You have to do certain things besides the degrees you earn to get to wherever you want to, financially speaking. Hey guys, once again, welcome to Ken's Money Matters. As usual, here we talk about the money mindset, how to make that money, how to enjoy that money, how to manage that money effectively, how to invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of income. So today I thought about something when I couldn't sleep, and it's about degrees. Now, I have managed to do good things for my financial life. I started my financial journey at a very young age, and I must be grateful for that. And I must thank my parents for that. They instilled in me some discipline with regards to money, especially my mom. She's instilled in me some discipline with regards to money, and that's what has brought me to where I am right now. So I have never really looked at education or, my formal education as a form of financial success. No, unless I use it to be successful financially, it's just a paper. I want to just talk about degrees, and this is because this is a reflection of my life. This is my life I'm talking about. And because I now have both, I have had the degrees and I've had things or skills that can help you get money for sure. And now I know the difference quite well. And I know why most people with degrees fail to make money, because they are caught up in this kind of box, in this kind of system whereby they think that after finishing your school or after graduating, you need to immediately have a job, or the society need to bend at your feet and just offer you opportunities. It doesn't happen like that. That's just bullshit. So the best way, if you want to think about this whole situation, because I still encourage people to go to school. I love education, I love reading, I love acquiring knowledge. I would not tell anyone not to get a degree. I would not tell anyone to get not to get a master's. I would not tell anyone not to get their PhD. But your mindset has to be very different. The way you view that master's, the way you view that degree, the way you view that PhD has to be very different. And you have to know that you're doing it not because you want financial success, but because you want knowledge. And that knowledge is supposed to push you into financial success. Now, let me make this very clear. I have gone through this system, so I understand it quite well. So at a very early age, I liked reading. I came from a society whereby reading or going to school and, educational success, academic success was really, really appreciated and really exalted. So I came from a society whereby, if you went to school, you had a PhD, you had your master's, it's a good thing, it's prestigious. But I realized at a very young age, and I'm thankful for this, that this is not money. This is not about money. I don't manage to get money from these papers. So sometimes you're focused on graduating, you're focused on finishing your degree, you're focused on finishing your PhD, but it will not translate to money immediately. So you're expecting that immediately you get that paper, that immediately you get that certificate, things are going to change. But that's not what happens. Life happens in a very different way. Life happens in a way that you have to model that change. You have to work towards that change. You have to work for that financial success. So the reason for this video is because I talk to a lot of people who have degrees, but they're not willing to go down, get their hands dirty, and do certain jobs for them to succeed. So for example, I went to school. I went to a very good primary school. I went to a good high school, and then I went to Nairobi University, where I did my first undergrad degree, which was in political science and international relations, with the first class. So I passed quite well. And of course, with the first class, you're expecting, the world will bend at your feet when you finish. The world will just offer you opportunities when you finish. Even with the first class, nobody is going to come at your door with opportunities. That's the reality. You have to do certain things. So do not expect that, when I finish this particular degree and I pass my exams, I'm off. My life has changed. That's not how it's going to happen. So I'm here right now. I'm still young. I'm still in the journey, and I'm taking you with me, and I'm telling you the truth of my life, the reality of my life. But what I did differently is that before I finished my campus already, I learned a different skill. What skill did I learn? I became a cabin crew. So I had to pay money, go to a different school to learn how to be a flight attendant with KQ. And it's a lot of money. So despite me not finishing my degree at the time, I was actually still doing my degree. I got a job in a completely different field, learned a different skill, which is customer service, safety, security, aviation security, and all those aviation stuff, engineering and stuff. We even have aviation engineering for cabin crews. So I learned all these new skills. I did not put so much thought into the fact that I had a degree and I was slated to get a first class, because I knew my performance had been really good. If you have so many A's, you will know that you're gonna get a first class. That did not make me go serve people tea and coffee in the aeroplane. And then after that, after 2 years, I moved. I got a scholarship and went to Finland for my master's, which was in international law. So I did my international law and passed quite well. And again, after that, I still had to do certain things. Even in Finland, when I was doing the international law, opportunities did not come knocking. I had to look for opportunities. And at some point, I did manual jobs. I drove trucks in Finland, for example. I drove garbage trucks in Finland to make money. And it paid me more than most people were in offices. Driving a truck in Europe pays a lot of money. It pays good money if you can do it. So I drove trucks in Finland. I did things so that I could make it financially, despite me having my bachelor's, despite me having a skill from Kenya, which was cabin crew, despite having this master's in law that I was now doing. And then when I finished that, I still continued with my truck driving business, which is a new skill. For me to get to drive trucks in Finland, I had to learn it. I had to go and do some exams. Even though I was a driver, but in Finland, they had to take you through some different tests. So this shows you that it doesn't really matter. The degree doesn't matter. It doesn't convert to money. For me to have that financial journey, to consistently invest and do the things I wanted to do financially, I had to put my pride down. So with a master's in law, a first class in my undergrad, I was still driving trucks in Finland. And then now that I'm in the UK, I have done a second master's in MBA, which is Master's in Business and Administration, Finance. And with that still, I've had to make sure that I reskill, because there are people who are doing MBAs too. So for you to actually get into the field and start doing something, you have to be different. How can you be different? I have had to learn a new skill. I have done data science. I have done trading professionally, trading forex, trading stock market, and I've done courses on financial markets just to understand financial markets. So again, at this particular stage, I did not focus on the fact that I have 2 masters. I focused on the skills that I needed to learn. So I had to learn trading very well. I had to go to a proper place and learn trading, talk to proper people who can teach you trading, and I learned how to trade forex market. That's a completely different skill. I had to learn the financial markets and how they work. That's a completely different skill. I had to learn data analysis and data science. That's a completely different skill. In the process right now, I've had to go into financial coaching and financial consultation, which is a completely different skill. So if you look at it this way, these degrees haven't actually contributed directly to my financial journey. So this is clear proof. I'm now doing my PhD in international law and e-commerce, and I can tell you categorically, it's not contributing right now to my financial life. I have done a postgraduate diploma in international development policy. It's not directly contributing to my financial life. What is contributing to my financial life and my financial journey and this financial security that I do have is the skills I've been able to learn. So this video is basically to tell you that you have to think differently. You do not have to be in a cage. Don't let your degrees and your papers put you in a box. Do not let your degrees and your papers restrict you. Do not let your degrees or your papers make you poor. Don't be education poor. I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm saying go to school, but use that opportunity and that knowledge to do something, create something for yourself, to be different. Do not wait for the degrees to turn into money. So I get this fallacy, this thinking from people that when you graduate or when you get the paper, everything is going to change. No, you have to take action on your own for you to change things in your life. You have to take action on your own for you to make things happen. A degree, business registration, any kind of paper will not make things happen for you. You have to make things happen. And how are you going to do it? By learning different things. Just doing this video to make sure that I tell you that there's so many things you can do and you do not need degrees to do them. Yes, it's good to have the degrees as just foundational knowledge, but the degrees should not be the reason whereby you are poor, because a lot of our people now are education poor. They just have so many papers that they can, they call out, I have a PhD, I have 2 masters, I have, this, but do you have the money to show for it? Do you have financial success? Because if education is not buying me freedom, if education is not giving me enough money to buy me freedom of time and energy, then I don't need it. I think that education should help me get enough money so that I can have my freedom of time and energy. And if you're not willing to do certain things, someone would say, why are you doing a PhD and still doing YouTube videos? Why are you doing a PhD and you still, at some point, you are driving trucks? Why are you doing a PhD and, learning a new skill right now? I can tell you categorically, the PhDs and the degrees that I've done did not directly contribute to my financial journey. Every single thing I've made them from the skills I learned. The money I made earlier in my life, I made it from being a cabin crew. That was a skill I learned. The money I made before that was money I made from the streets when I was flipping phones and working at a barber shop and, all those things that I did. The money I made when I was in Europe was from driving trucks and stuff like that and doing other manual jobs. The real money I made. So if you think about it in that sense, then degrees are just, they're just there to give you a foundation. So do not make them as the cornerstone or as that thing that's going to change your life. It doesn't happen like that. So this video is basically to tell you, you know what? My life can prove to you that degrees cannot help you financially. They can only help you if you decide to use the knowledge to help yourself. Thank you guys. Comment, let me know your thoughts about this. Let me know your ideas and see you next time. I was too young and I didn't